Hello and welcome to another episode of Practice Perfection. My name is Kit Mills, and today's lesson is a continuation of what we've been doing the last couple sessions, working on a pattern called the accent grid. Real quick, here's what that looks like. What we do is we play each accent of subdividing each beat into 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. The first four measures, each one is devoted to each one of the accents. First bar, the first one, then the second bar, the second accent, the E, third bar, the and, fourth bar, the Then the next couple bars, it truncates this, and we only do 2 repetitions of each. So that only lasts 2 bars, and we repeat that. Then finally we do 4 bars, each of which rotates through all of the accents in turn. So here's what that looks like. If you know this, then go ahead and join me. Here we go. A 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. And repeat that. 1, 2. And now 1 each. So that's the accent grid in review. So the last couple lessons have dealt with that. 2 lessons ago is the one where we actually do that, and I will, if I haven't already done so, I'll try to link to that down in the description below. The previous lesson to this one, we took the accent grid and we orchestrated or relocated the notes, the accents to the different tom-toms, treated it as though it were different instruments in an orchestra. So today we're going to take it a different way. I really like the accent grid as a framework for practicing a lot of different types of techniques and movements around the drum set, and that's actually what we're going to be doing over the next several days, is working on different ways of interpreting the accent grid or using it to practice, because once you've got that memorized, it's a great framework for hanging all these other things on. So today's technique is going to be to replace the flams. Oh, sorry, well, there you go. I gave away the show. Replace the accents with flams. All we're doing is we're going to substitute a flam for every accent that's in there. So the first 4 bars look like this. Try it with me. 1 E and a, fairly slowly. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. When you repeat at the tail end there or go back into the next bar, you'll have 2 alternating flams, a right-left flam, then a left-right flam, if we're leading with the right hand. So we're going to slow this down a little bit from where we were before, and we'll go at 60 beats per minute here. So that's going to be about this fast. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and we're going to try this out. So again, this lesson tonight might be a little bit beyond some of you guys, and that's okay. Just process what's going on. Notice how we do it. Really observe closely, and you'll be able to come back to this later. You can also, of course, afterward go back when this has been edited and re-uploaded, and slow it down to like 75% or 50% in the options, and just try playing along with it. Here we go. A 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, that's one time through. Most times when I've got a little more time, I'll practice through it twice, but for the sake of time, I'll just go through it once at each tempo here. So I've also accented those flams, which flams tend to be accented, but they don't have to be. So you can try it both ways, both with the pronounced accent and also really dialing down your heights and volume so it's more even with the rest of the strokes. Let's take it a little bit faster now. We're going to go up to 70 beats per minute. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, let's go up to 80. 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right, let's do one more tempo. 90. 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. And it could go faster too. And I would, of course, if you're really working this up, I would probably be going 5 beats per minute and starting a little bit slower too, just to get the mechanics down. There are a few times in there I felt like it was a little dodgy on my time. I was speeding a little bit to get back on the beat or pulling back slightly to accommodate the flam. So, you know, we always want to try to make these very effective and fluid motions. And so when you're doing, especially the alternating flams, accidental hi-hat there. When you're doing the alternating flams, you got to be really fluid with those, and to get those in context to the accent grid, it's a little tricky. So start slow with that. If you're brand new to this one, or you're new, you've got the accent grid kind of down, but the flams are still kind of a new one, practice flams by themselves a bit. And what I would do is maybe just practice 1 bar at a time of the first 4 bars. So like the first bar, you could just do it over and over a bunch of times. Left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. One of the things you'll learn really quickly is that second right hand, the one on the end of the beat, is the one you have to pick up to get ready for the next flam. See how I'm picking it up? Up, up. So that preparation, knowing when to pick up the stroke that's going to go down as the accent part of the flam, or the louder part of the flam, that's kind of the trick to getting this down. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of it. And one quick bonus on this, the flams don't have to be just done on the snare drum. There's a couple different ways a lot of different ways you could do it, but here's one that comes immediately to mind, and that is just play the flammed, the higher stroke of the flam on one of the toms, like we were doing yesterday or in the previous lesson. So we would have, instead of 1 E and a 2, or 1 E and a 2 E and a, we'll have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. That's kind of cool. Let's try that through actually one time. I'll slow it back down again to 60, and we'll try it out. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That's the gist of it. You could also flatten those out and play the hits at exactly the same time, just a different way to interpret it. And if you're really wanting a little extra credit on this and you feel like you've got your chops together tolerably well, you could even add a foot ostinato, in other words, a repeated pattern with your feet underneath it. A very simple one is just to play the beat, which would be at that last one, would be like this, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, and then I play along with it. To hear what the offbeats are with this, and so on. Or you could do something a little more sophisticated. So E and a 4 E and a. So sometimes when I'm a little pinched for time, I'll just throw something like that on and just warm up with that, And so on. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to throw them down into that comment section below, and I would be happy to respond. You can also contact me on my website, kitmills.com, and I can respond that way too. And if you like this video, I hope you'll click that like button. And if you haven't already done so, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. That's going to be the easiest way to hear of upcoming streams and updated videos and uploaded videos and all that fun stuff. So I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking and what you're liking, not liking, and I can try to respond to that and keep creating stuff and get better and better at this. So until next time, I hope you guys will enjoy playing around with the accent grid, trying out this variation on it, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Keep on drumming. See ya.